Hello fellow media lovers, my name is Maya, but you can just call me Mediahead. So, box office success. Sometimes it's a testament to the time and effort put into a film, kind of a financial and social reward for making something so spectacular. And sometimes,
yes, my teeth and ambitions are bared. Be prepared.
So, while we come to terms with the fact that box office is essentially a dead term this year, let's talk about the film that sat on the box office throne until the geek staged a coup, Avatar. Back when the film came out in 2009, Avatar was essentially seen as James Cameron's gift to mankind, both with its groundbreaking CGI and the fact that it was made by James Cameron. So it's honestly not a surprise that Avatar took the crown away from James Cameron's other film, Titanic. But I've noticed over the years, especially after Avengers Endgame managed to take away its spots on the box office hierarchy, that people have been quick to change their tune, saying that they weren't really fans of the film, or even saying that the film is overrated and one of the least interesting films they've ever seen. Okay then. So, I thought it was time to finally figure out once and for all, is James Cameron's Avatar a supreme masterpiece or supremely overrated? While I have watched this film in the past, it was only one time when I was 10 or 11 years old after it came out on DVD and I was at my grandparents' house. So, I don't really remember much, and I didn't exactly dissect it when I was, 10 or 11. But now I'm older, and I decided to watch this movie with my microphone on, so here's some highlights from me watching this absolute juggernaut of a film. I only have, vague memories of this movie. I remember that the main character, he replaces his twin or something. He's in a wheelchair, and Gamora's the main heroine. I'm really liking this stuff. There's nothing but blue. Is that symbolism? It's probably symbolism. Or foreshadowing, more likely. Space, the final frontier.
Yeah. I know who you are, and I don't need you. I need your brother. The PhD who trained for 3 years.
Fuck you, Grace. Her opening scene. No, I need to pause for this ish. Okay, 12:04. Her opening scene is her being a bitch until an intern gives her a cigarette. At least I didn't see. I already forgot if the intern had a code or not. But her first scene is being annoying over cigarettes, and then telling the main character that it's inconvenient for her that his brother died, and then comparing them to each other. I don't remember. I think I'm supposed to grow to like this character. I don't remember. Last time I watched this movie, I only watched it once. I was maybe 10 or 11. Oh my god. I hate her.
Got this.
He's like, listen, I've been doing this for a while. Why did that remind me of Code Lyoko? I'd imagine that having a tail would be really difficult to comprehend. He's playing with his hair, and I'm like, you have a tail?
Give me the goosebumps.
I don't remember if you're a villain. I think you're a villain, though.
Learn these savages from the inside. I want you to
Oh, yeah.
You need to know how to force their cooperation or hammer them hard.
You are a villain. Oh my god, I want it even though it would kill me. See, the issue with watching movies like this, any sci-fi movie, that's a lemur. Anyway, watching any sci-fi movie just inevitably leads to me asking questions. Every single creature that we've seen from Pandora is blue or bluish green. Assuming that it's a consistent environment, does that just mean that the blue-green tint is their equivalent of melanin? And since all of Pandora has the same climate, they just all have the same amount of melanin in their bodies? In their skin? I shouldn't be asking this. Do I have to mention the awesomeness that is the sound design on going underwater and just all the sound being muffled and then you keep on resurfacing? I'm pretty sure everyone's talked about that, but I'm mentioning it again.
Sorry, Doc. He's just gonna have to hang on till morning.
You won't make it till morning.
Okay, this has been bothering me. Gwen's actress, she sounds exactly like the voice actress for Shira Hall in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, who is also the mom from Wizards of Waverly Place. So every time she opens her mouth, it confuses me. That's an introduction. Did they mention how long they've been there? I think they did. Because I feel like this movie would have been a little bit more interesting if they were speaking the equivalent of Pidgin.
The last thing we see is this Marine's ass.
My god, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm a friggin' idiot. I just... Oh no, I just recognized her. I'm gonna die. Oh no. I just referred to Sigourney Weaver as a woman that sounds like Maria Canals Barrera. Oh, I'm gonna get murdered. Oh god. Oh, Sigourney Weaver, what are you doing here? I thought you had your fill of aliens.
Good location, shack.
It just occurred to me that they don't utilize these logs as much as
The language is a pain.
I'd want them to. Yeah, holy shit, we're
My video log here.
we're an hour, we're about an hour and 4 minutes into this, and only now are they bringing back the video logs. Do I hate the side plot? No. It's aesthetically pleasing. Look at this damn scene. Like, yes, yes, I am happy that there's a kissing scene slash sex scene under this glorious tree where the voices of your ancestors are kept. Okay, that just sounds weird now, but it's a very aesthetically pleasing shot.
Oh shit. It's global network and the Na'vi can access it. They can upload and download data, memories, at sites like the one you just destroyed.
What the hell have you people been smoking out there? They're just goddamn trees.
You're aware that
Wake up for
mushrooms have the exact same thing going on Earth, right, man?
in the ground.
Listen to me. You've got 1 hour. Unless you want your girlfriend in there when the axe comes down, you get them to evacuate. 1 hour.
I like how he's genuinely the big bad. He does not look threatening, but my god, he's a prick.
You will never be one of the people.
Try to stop.
Jamie, please, please.
Pausing again. Okay, smug look from this asshole. Anyway, you literally could've. I hate this. I hate the third act misunderstanding bullshit. I hate that trope with all of my being. You literally could have phrased it as, I didn't know they were going to go this far. I thought we were going to cooperate. I thought we were going to talk with you. Because technically, you were sent here to see if they were willing to trade resources. Would it have been a fib if you straight up said that you were 100% confident that they weren't going to murder all the trees, including their most sacred one? Yeah, but that's not important right now. What's important right now is convincing them to evacuate and making sure they trust you. I hate this part in every single movie. It feels like this should be happening half an hour before the movie ends, but there's an hour left in this movie. Oh god. Oh god, I don't remember it falling over like this. Oh god. I think it's falling. Oh god. Oh my. Okay, I just felt more emotional investment in a tree falling down than I did in basically all the characters in this movie. Holy shit. Oh, don't tell me they offed the father for some extra angst. They offed the father for some extra angst. Okay, why did they just use slow-mo here? See, slow-mo here makes sense. What was with the janky slow-mo earlier in a James Cameron movie? Wait, why is there a cut to— what? Why did you fade to black there? Again, why? This isn't made for TV. Why did you make that the transition? Okay. That was badass and really, really hot. I forgive you. I don't know if those are ex machina rhinos or if they just disturbed the wildlife so much that it gave up on hiding.
Jake, it was hurt you. It was hurt you.
Literal Deus Ex rhinos. Even better. Okay. My god. Hi, James Cameron, you friggin' deranged son of a bitch, I swear. I guess I'll hand it over to Maya from the future so that she can wrap this up. So now that I've had time to think, what did I think about this movie? Well, if the remakes video didn't teach you anything, it's that I like to be organized. And by organized, I mean I rated this ish. First, the plot, which is very simple. Indigenous people and their homeland are threatened by capitalism. Now, having a simple premise is not inherently a bad thing. It just means that you have to do something new with it and put your own spin on it. I mean, a good portion of anime for the past 10 years has been able to thrive on the premise of, what if some random dude got transported to another world? This is supposed to be an example of how it can be a good thing. Thank you. The problem is the plot of Avatar isn't anything new. The world building is solid. The human race drained Earth of all of its resources, and instead of learning their lesson, ventured into space and started draining other planets of their resources. Pandora is a beautiful world, and the Na'vi have an interesting and rich culture that I don't want to see get destroyed. But at the end of the day, nothing was really done with any of that. And before anyone says anything, we're focusing on this one single movie and not taking into account that the sequels are being made. Couple that with a nearly 170-minute runtime, a good portion of which is less focused on world building and more, look at how cool our world looks, and it just gets tedious. And it doesn't help that our main character Jake has this whole chosen one thing going on throughout the story, with the literal god of this planet sending signs that he can help, and being the first person to tame a terrifying beast and reunite all of the clans since Neytiri's great-great-grandfather. It's really weird having those kind of story beats coupled with a story that's supposed to be focusing on how colonizers can be dangerous to both a place's ecosystem and the culture of the indigenous people there. But despite all that, it's not really a bad plot. It's just not an original one, and it doesn't do enough for me to become more engrossed in the story. 5 out of 10. Next is the characters. Definitely the weakest part of this movie. The characters in Avatar are more plot devices than people. With the exception of maybe Jake, all of the characters' personalities could have been switched around or altered completely, and it wouldn't have done much to the story overall. Why is Grace antagonistic in the beginning? Because we needed a way to show that this company, in a world where Earth has drained all of its natural resources, is cutting corners and is run by assholes. Gee, I wish there was another way of showing that other than having this character who spends most of the movie being a bit cynical but overall a pretty nice woman as bitchy, and then turn her into a defrosting ice queen for basically no reason. Why is Trudy a deadpan snarker? Because a good portion of this cast already is, and they needed a pilot on the side of the good guys since they didn't want any of their characters to be a jack of all trades. Why does Max exist? I legit don't know. And why does Norm... Actually, no. Well, Norm's fine. Norm's actually a perfect character. He's good. And then there's the Na'vi. What does Neytiri do when Jake's not around for her to teach and fall in love with? Does the plot know? Does Jake even know? And don't even get me started on Sute. He could have been a nice, pleasant guy with some healthy skepticism towards Jake and Grace, but no, he had to be an asshole because this plot needed even more conflict in the form of a betrothed subplot that once again goes nowhere. I initially gave characters a score of 4 out of 10, but the more I think about them, the more I realize that they really are just plot devices that are void of actual personalities. So I'm just gonna bump it down to a 3. Okay, next we have acting. I'd argue that acting is like sound design. You don't notice it unless it's really, really bad. There's honestly not much I can say here. Characters initially had a higher score, about 5 or 6, but only in hindsight did I realize it was that high because the actors brought a lot of personality to these characters that are void of personality. They brought life into them and made me like a good portion of them, even though there was really no reason for me to like them. Also, Sigourney Weaver, I am so sorry, I did not recognize you. I do not know how that happened. 9 out of 10. It would be 10 out of 10, but the script held them back. Speaking of sound design, that's next, though I am lumping it together with music because I can. Again, there's not much to say here. The music was excellent and it was incorporated very well into the movie, with great timing for it, and it was good. And the Foley artist clearly did a good job, considering nothing sounded too out of place, and nothing sounded too familiar in this alien world where nothing's exactly like it is on Earth. Except for the dog creatures that Neytiri fights in her first scene, but honestly, that's not too jarring. 9 out of 10. And finally, visuals. Call me biased as someone specifically studying visual editing, but I thought that this deserved a category. Though I am lumping it together with visual effects, which I have no experience in. Now this sounds like an obvious 10 out of 10, right? The CGI is famous for how excellent it is, and it's just a gorgeous movie overall. But that's where the visual editing comes into play. Now overall, I liked Avatar's visual editing. The transitions were smooth, and if the post-production team had any creative say in which shots to use, I think they used the right ones. But there were certain moments like fading to black or just weird editing choices that were extremely jarring and took me out of the film entirely at times, and needless to say, that's not good. So I wish this could be a 10 out of 10, but those little issues piled up enough for me to drop it down to an 8 out of 10. So that brings our total to 34 out of 50. That's a 68%. Technically a passing grade, but it would be the kind of grade that you're going to sulk over for the rest of the day. But for the hell of it, there is another total that I created that includes the score of my overall enjoyment of the film. When all was said and done, I wasn't bored watching this film. It's a bit too long, but I didn't lose my mind watching it. It's a good and solid movie, it's gorgeous, and despite everything I said, all of the positive elements of the film were enough to keep me entertained. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 on the enjoyment scale, which gives us a score of 41 out of 60, which is still 68%, but at least it didn't lower the score, am I right? So, was Avatar a masterpiece? I'd say yes, with an asterisk. It's good for film study, especially in the visual department and also in the sound department, let's be honest. But when it comes to the plot and characters specifically, basically anything that involves the script writing, they could have done some major improvements to make this film a whole lot better. And that's it. Next time I do this with a film, I'm definitely picking a shorter movie. What the frick was I thinking starting with Avatar? And now I must say adieu on this fine, humid as hell morning. Send help. I'll see you in a bit, media lovers.